Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. It's a Chit Chat Wednesday, and I am so excited to have Stephen Rogers on the show. Fantastic comedian. He has a special that's out right now called Half of We. It is so funny, and it is such good jokes. And I'm telling you, go to the end. The end to me, like that, the joke he tells at the end, I told him this on the show, is just like, that's like a classic bit. Like that's a joke you could tell at a dinner table. I just think it's so great. He's fantastic. We get into being a clean comedian and just what that means and how people talk to you and the world of clean comedy, because he opens for Brian Regan, and this was produced by Nate Bargatze, and he opens for him as well. Such a good episode. Then we talk about he was engaged and the engagement ended. I just made it sound more dramatic than it is. They broke up. So we talk about kind of like being back in the dating world when you've never done it, and how a crowd reacts to a broken engagement and how they get a little weird, and we kind of like bounce ideas off each other. So enjoy. Fantastic episode. Go watch the special. It's really great. Boom. Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Jared Freid, coming to you live from the West Village of Manhattan. That's right, every Wednesday is a Chit Chat Wednesday. I talk to a comedian, a friend, an expert today. We have all three, a friend, a comedian, an expert. I'm going to tell you right now, expert comedian, because I just got done watching their special. I'm a minute late because I wanted to watch it to the end. It is fantastic. It is so laugh out loud funny. It is called Half of We. It is on YouTube. It was produced by the now uber famous Nate Bargatze. This guy bought low, is selling high. Stephen Rogers, thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. When I do these Chit Chat Wednesdays, I like to just like start taping right away. So I didn't get into pleasantries. The special is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, I gotta say, I'm watching it and I'm like self-conscious, and that's like the best compliment another comedian can give, I think, because it's so. I gotta say, you are so tight and so confident. You have there is not an ounce of fat. This is a lean, mean, laugh a minute, laugh a 10 seconds, laugh every joke special. So I want everyone to go watch it.
That means a lot coming from you. I felt the same way when I watched your Netflix. I'm very honored that you're saying that.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. I appreciate that too, but I want everyone to go watch it. It's called Half of We. The link is in the bio.
Wow.
And I had like this whole plan to talk to you about being clean.
Yeah.
And because here's the thing about being clean, I would think it's annoying the feedback that like here. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I am. I'm immediately getting into my opinion.
Yeah.
But this is me being a bad interviewer. Okay. You opened for Brian Regan, famously clean. Mm-hmm. Nate Bargatze, famously clean. Like these are people where when does it happen for them? Do you think, was there like, because it is a business decision at a certain point. Do you think they're clean and then they're like, oh my God, like, look at all these people who like it? Or is there like a point where they go, where someone's like, hey, we need you to stay clean. And they're like, look at how much money I'm making. I should keep doing this because I can, like it is a talent.
Yeah, I know, Brian, I've worked with Brian much longer than I've worked with Nate, and for Brian, I know he loves the challenge of it. I think that's a lot of people's reasons. It's certainly mine. It's like a fun challenge, and for me, I don't curse too much in real life, so it felt like false to do that in my act. It also felt like bad word economy. So I think
which is evident in the special because there's economy of words is what this has going on. Like it is, as I said, lean.
Yeah, thank you. I think some people I know some people that had like maybe one or two dirty jokes. I think Brian's old closer before he taped anything had like a swear word in it, and he made the decision of like, well, only one of my jokes I curse, and I'm about to tape a thing. Let's just get rid of this one joke, and now I'm like clean.
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I think it is what you're saying. It's like some people are like, I'm already almost there. I might as well make the leap.
Right. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, when I'm watching your special, I'm like, this isn't, like, I don't walk away from this being like, oh, good old fashioned clean comedy's back. Like,
Right.
that would annoy me. It annoys me because it would annoy me that someone's only response after my show was like how awesome it was clean.
Yeah, it is very annoying.
And I'm sure that's what I assumed. I was like, I'm sure you get that, where they don't even compliment you that they had a good time, and it's like you end up resenting your baby.
100%. I don't advertise that I'm clean in my bio or anything.
Right.
And I learned that from other clean comics, because you can go to my show and, like you're saying, you might not catch it.
Right.
And I've had, you've done Gilda's Fest in Grand Rapids, I'm sure.
No, I haven't.
Oh, really? Anyway, so they should. They have a clean week, and they'll have like comics come. Some that are not clean do it, and then some comics that are clean, and every show's clean. And I would have people come up to me going, "That was good, but when can I go see your regular show?" And I'm like, it just has this kind of like this negative connotation to it that it's like we're protected, like it's patronizing.
Well, right. This is patronizing is the best word. I do this Wednesday show to like talk to. Sometimes when I get comedians on here, I'm like, it's inside baseball. Like,
Sure.
And I hate, this isn't a comedy this isn't a stand-up comedy, let's shoot the shit about comedy podcast.
Yeah.
But I do think this is interesting to hear, and I think anyone can relate, because it's like, you know what you do, and then you hear your mom describe what you do for a living, and it's like nails on a chalkboard. You're like, I can't even listen to it. And for clean comics, I think that sometimes happens. And also, like, I have that with me. Like, I'm not up there talking about politics, and now if you don't talk about politics, now you've made a business decision that people put on you that I'm like, no, I just don't. As you said, it's not true to my life. I don't walk around like Bill Maher. Have you seen CNN today? Like, can you believe the woke left? Can you believe Fox News? I've never even talked about that in my life. Why would I do that every day?
Right. And isn't the whole point of politics to not spread like information when you know nothing?
Right.
So,
well, then they get you on that's the new version of like shaming you, is like, if you're like, I know nothing, they're like, oh, you don't care. I guess you're part of the problem. You haven't done it. And you go, okay, let me just go fuck myself, because there's nothing I can do. Like, there's nothing to please everybody, but that's how you know you're doing it right, if you're not pleasing everybody.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. It's the same with dating. Be yourself, otherwise you're gonna get the wrong people.
Right. Because I was just like, the clean thing is interesting to me, and also the fact that you don't write it in your bio. Like, to me, that makes you like, I think you're hurt also by the bad actors. There are people where that, like, weirdly, they're like, their mission to make $1 million somehow included being a clean comedian. Like, and you're like, where did you're just a marketing person. You're not a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, those people hurt you as much as the people who, I don't know, the other, there's two sides to every coin, right?
No, you're nailing it. I remember I did Austin. I did Cap City, and they had I'm blanking on his name. He was really great. A Kill Tony, child, host, and I don't mean child in a sense. I get, you know what I mean? The student of Kill Tony,
right?
Like,
I got.
He's one of.
Well,
that's
funny that's become a thing. Like, I think people have to know. Like, there are these like factions now. These like these like Harry Potter houses you come up in, and it's like if you come up in the Kill Tony world, you have a certain thing.
Yes, so he grew up through the Kill Tony ranks. he was dreading doing my show and was instructed to be clean by the club, I believe. And he was very kind to me before I went up. And then I went up, and I think at the end of the weekend, I got this long message from him going, "Hey man, I got to be honest. I was dreading the weekend. I really don't care for clean comedy. And then I watched your show, and I realized you can be clean and be working towards being a great comic and all this."
Love
and
it.
I'm like, if I can be doing that to comics to show like it's not a money making scheme that I'm doing.
Right.
This is just how I do my comedy. I love dirty comedy. It's just not what I am. If I can do a little bit of that, that's great. I'm happy to do that.
You know, I love hearing that. And, you know, I've talked on this show many times, like how comedy's like a religion. I relate to other comedians in the same way I relate to Jews, you know, like, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I've gotten that message where, and I like, that's the coolest, probably the greatest compliment you've ever gotten. You'll never forget it.
I'll never forget it.
Never. And I got one.
It means so much.
It means so much. I got one where someone was like, "Oh my God, like you did stories. Like I never thought like that the beginning could connect to the end." And I'm like, I'm like, why not? Like you can do whatever you want, like as long as it's you know?
Yeah, I feel like that's only seen and not like, for some reason, you need to see you headline to know that I can do it.
Well, because it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. The get-rich-quick scheme is shock, is go up and do, you know, politics is shock humor. Like that, like I don't think it's so difficult. I think it's actually easier than what you achieve. I'm watching the special. I mean, the opening joke is something that like, or the kind of the ad that goes on YouTube, and everyone can go watch it. It's called Half of We. It is on YouTube. It's out right now. The link is in the bio on both audio, video, all my stuff. It's out there. I'll connect to it on Instagram. But you talk about, you look like I look like I believe in Christmas all year around. That's the opening. And it's like, even looks jokes. Like, when you do a looks joke, it has to be you. It has to be something you can't control. When I see someone talk about their haircut, I'm like, you can go get a haircut tomorrow.
And you know they chose to have that hair to keep that joke.
Right, the one they say is so horrible. If you know it's horrible, so why don't you go check out the barber? And they're a bullshit artist. They are painting with bullshit. And I'm watching you know, if someone that is like, again, like I do this thing where I make fun of like the new contestants going on The Bachelor, and I do like a looks thing. I have people, you know, I get such nice feedback, and every now and again someone will get angry, and it's like that I'm making fun of. Like I did it for the Golden Bachelor, and they're like, you're being ageist, you're making fun of all these old people. It's like, no, I made fun of old people well. Like I put a lot of thought into this. Like I didn't like, I didn't just say, look at this Viagra loser. Like I kind of had some thought. I put together a narrative, a character, someone you've seen before. When you say I look like I celebrate Christmas all year round, like it is lived in, you know, like that's the difference. Like the difference between like I'm doing this to make money and I'm doing this because I love doing stand up is like finding the new, you know, there's been people that looked like you and me for doing stand up for years. Oh my God, we found a new way to say it. Good for fucking me.
Exactly. Quick side note,
please.
I'm a big fan of your Bachelor videos.
Thank you.
And I think of you, I'm a big Survivor guy, and
okay, go ahead, please.
I'll yell at the TV when I watch Survivor, and I'm like, I'm just doing Jared, but Survivor version. I think about it all the time.
Dude, Survivor's a great show.
I love it.
I got back into it. So I've been like I'm a reality person from young age. Like I've watched everything. But Survivor, I got back into it during the pandemic because they had like 2 seasons on Netflix, which, you know, so I started watching it, and then I'm like, the thing that sucks about Survivor now is you have to, like, if you go back and watch it, it is so tempting to go look up all these things and like Fine, and then you go. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the All-Star seasons because I want to watch the best people, and then it like ruined me for all these other seasons.
Yeah, I watched a bunch during the pandemic, and then I watched All-Star. All-Star is my favorite season, and yeah, it does ruin some of it, but then you watch it anyways, and I'm like, oh, even though I know who wins, this is still insane. Like, it's still a wild show.
How do you feel? I mean, to me, Jeff Probst is like the greatest host that we have on the planet, right?
Yes. Look, I was never a Jeopardy guy, but he's certainly the Trebek of like reality TV for me. Like,
right.
It's, I don't know if you're watching the current season.
No, I've had moments where I haven't been drinking all month, so I'm like trying to like figure out what I can watch. I watched Nathan Fielder last night. I watched the first episode of The Rehearsal. If anyone's like afraid of flying, maybe skip it. Like I have like a small fear of flying that is left over from a very large fear of flying.
Yeah,
it might have brought me back. Like I'm like, that's how like tough a watch it was. But I'm really,
glad you're telling me because I have that fear.
If you have the fear, it's tough. But I've been kind of like, maybe I'll do Survivor. Is this a good season?
This season is gold.
Gold.
Okay. I mean, I'm not throwing that lightly. It is. You are gonna feel some stuff.
Oh, good. Okay, good. But this was my thing with Jeff Probst. I was like, should this guy be moderating our presidential debates?
He's unbelievable. Like, there's conflicts. First of all, it's a very progressive show as far as like there's some social stuff happening in every season, and it's certainly happening in this one.
This is something I've heard because back when I was like in reality, it was like, how do we make crazy people look even crazier on camera? Like that was kind of the premise of most reality shows.
Right.
And then like normal people started getting involved. Like The Real World was really like, they're like 6 people in a house. It's like, no. 6 crazies that are going to hate each other and then find some common ground and maybe like each other by the end. Like that was kind of like, and again, like someone once told me they were like, there's 2 ways to watch The Bachelor. Mm-hmm. It's either one woman finds love or 29 women get dumped. And it's like, there are 2 different types of people. And you and they're both watching the same show, and it's like I think I started as a young immature kid as like I gotta watch 29 people get dumped, and I think you age and mature into look at who found love and why they found it, and good for them. And I think that's where like their Survivor of it all, like it started with like, let's see these crazies starve themselves on an island. And now it's like, no, let's see if we can solve, gender pronouns on this show. It's like, that's what's happening, I've heard.
Yeah, it is happening.
We are sponsored Ava. Interest rates are brutal right now. If car payments and credit card bills are squeezing the budget, a higher credit score could save you thousands every year. That's where Ava comes in. Ava is a credit building app that makes it super simple to improve your credit fast so you can get better rates on loans, pay off debt faster, and keep more money in your pocket. The Ava card gives you credit up to $2,500. And you can use it to auto-pay your bills and subscriptions. Ava then reports those one-time payments to all major credit bureaus every day, so you can build that positive credit history. Here's what I love about Ava. This can help your life. Right now, the copy's completely correct. Interest rates are crazy. And anything you can do to put more money in your pocket, that is really a simple solution that you're going to do it. And Ava gives you the ability to do that. And I just love anybody that comes on this show and helps a listener save some money or do better in their life. And this is maybe a better way for you. And you should look into it if you're having credit issues. and your credit score needs to be higher, this is a good way to do it. So for just $6 a month, you can potentially save thousands. Download the Ava app, spelled AVA, today. And when you join using promo code JTrain, promo code JTrain, you'll get your first month free. This offer is only for JTrain fans. Get the Ava app and use promo code JTrain to get your first month free. That's promo code JTrain. Thanks to Ava. Now go get yourself good credit.
It's really great. I find the same thing that I'm lucky enough to experience through comedy, and you kind of alluded to the same thing. I'm watching like people I didn't grow up with, like these certain demographics where I'm from, and now I'm seeing them on TV talk about their lives and what they've gone through. So I'm learning about that kind of stuff through watching the show. Just like comics, I'm like friends with all these comics from all these different backgrounds, different countries, different religions, all this stuff. And it's a great way to get a perspective of all these different, upbringings and stuff.
I say it all the time. It's why we know the grifters from the non-grifters. Is like, you're around too many comedians of we have the most diverse workplace in the world. Mm-hmm. Like every type does stand up, and you have to be around each other on the same lineup if you're doing it. If you're not, and you're doing shock things and saying things that are like, in no argument, mean, like you're not afraid to say because you're not next on the lineup, like after the person that you're saying these things about,
and chances are if you're doing only that, there's just a lineup that looks exactly like you,
right? So you have so there's a big part of the special. There was one joke that I zoned in on because I know you well enough. It was engaged versus married. Okay. And the joke is great. Not to give away things, but we want people to go watch it. But the way people react to you when you say you're engaged versus when you're married, and I was like, okay, this is a spoiler, I guess, but I don't think it ruins the special at all. You are now not engaged or married.
Correct.
So this is, and you could tell like it, and it's funny because the joke. So I had a few questions from it. You go. In the joke, you say there's a different response you get from engaged versus married. What's the response you're getting from I'm now broken up from my fiance? Because even before you answer, even before you get to this answer, even when you say it on stage and it's the last minute of the special, because I'm sure if you watch this with like a critical eye, you go, oh, they must have broken up right as this special was getting taped. Like very soon to the taping. So someone even yells out, and I think what they say, and I want to know if you know what they said. There's a woman, you go, I'm not engaged anymore, I'm not married. You reveal we've broken up since, and there's a woman who screams something out, and I don't know, I thought she said, we got a single girl right here. Is that what she says?
I believe so,
And you ignore it.
I ignored it,
Because that's absolutely insane.
It's insane.
But so is that what you're getting? Is that, I'm sure you're doing jokes about it now. Are you what's the response to I was engaged and now I'm not?
It is interesting in the sense of like how quick people can forget that I've been doing stand-up this whole time. And now they're like, oh, this precious, like wounded guy, like they're
so
like,
they think this is what got you into stand up.
Well, no,
that you had to talk about it. You were like, you like the engagement ends and you're like, gotta get on stage to talk about this. Is that what they think?
Well, like I'll be doing bits, and as soon as I mention that my fiance and I broke up, the vibe changes.
Right.
And if you have, I'm going to be a little selfish here. If you have advice, I will gladly take it because I'm trying to let them know I'm all right. And that you're about to hear jokes about this now. Like I'm someone that the way I get through stuff is making jokes about it, making fun of it.
Right.
Clearly this is something I'm going through. I'm going to talk about it. And, I see so many of our colleagues talk about like a parent's death, and I feel like they can get through it faster than
The awkwardness.
the awkwardness than I can with my fiance and I broke up.
So what's the first joke? Because I might have advice. Because I'm thinking what's the first joke you do after you reveal it?
Now I say, I allude to that I went through a breakup, and then I eventually say, by the way, it was a broken off engagement. And there's that reaction, and I go, yeah, dating after a broken off engagement, it kind of feels like playing a video game where it didn't save your progress.
Very funny.
Thank you.
Very funny.
And then I'm like, no, I just did all this, that kind of bit.
Right.
So that's the joke.
I think you're skipping a joke that you have to do. That's
Please.
Because I think when I tend to like, because I'm talking right now about going to Europe alone, and and my mom being like, "Why would you go to Europe alone?"
Right.
And I had a line where I was like, that I thought was funny to say. Like, I've noticed the more you say the word sad, the sadder people get. So you can't even use the word sad. So I'm like, why? My mom goes, "Why would you go to Europe alone?" And for a while I was going, because I have no one to go with. And I thought that was like a fun, and it got a laugh sometimes, but a lot of times it would get an awe, know? And it's like
the worst sound in comedy.
The worst sound in comedy, and it's annoying too, because usually someone awing is trying to like let everyone else know what they should be doing. It almost feels like it's directing the audience, and I get annoyed at the R. But I was like, they obviously have questions like my mom does. Why don't you have anyone to go with? Like, so I think that when I hear it's a broken off engagement, the first question is, what the fuck happened? Not you're skipping the story.
Yeah.
But that's probably harder. That's the hardest part to tell. Going into like, I'm dating now is like easy, because it's like, oh, look, I'm happy, I'm doing well. The hardest part is the sad part.
Yeah.
But there's like 7 hours of jokes in between.
Yeah.
But that's up to you. I agree with you. The vibe, and I even say there's another part where I talk about how in Europe I didn't have sex with one woman, and I say what you just said, like the vibe has changed. I go the vibe, like I went from like, oh my God, I went to Europe alone to like, and I went there to fuck, like, like, so I noticed the vibe change. So I'm like, oh, I'm obviously missing a chunk that they want.
That is what's, and I agree completely. That's what's great about comedy is when there's problems with your act, like you notice a problem, like you're saying there, the answer is a new joke, which is great. At least you know what the solution is. It's just finding that joke.
It's finding the angle. It's finding out, like, what is the question everyone in that audience has. And they all have a pretty similar question for the vibe to change as one. They're all thinking a similar thing. It's like, if you can nail it, you nail it. And if you can't, you sit there for like months being like, fuck, there's a hole in this act.
Yeah. I have the story, and I have made it funny because this is true. When she like told me, I had come back from doing shows that night, and I had put pizza in the toaster oven, and while she was breaking up with me, the toaster oven dinged.
The pizza's ready and the relationship is over. At the
Exactly. And the bit I do is I'm like, I knew I had to like keep talking to her, and I couldn't go get it. Like you can't be like, hold on, and then you go get
right.
So like I do that, but I'm like, I feel like getting them. I feel like I still have to take care of them somehow. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, no, I understand that. I've had that in a breakup. I mean, people, the everyday person can relate to that, because why don't you post on Instagram how much fun you're having after a breakup? You're thinking of one person watching your story. You're thinking of one person who's going to see the post. When you post after a breakup, you're only thinking of an audience of one,
yes,
and
exactly.
And that's the same thing with like telling a joke and going on stage and doing bits about it. I mean, you have a joke at the end of the special that I actually like. I'm like, that's the fucking joke. I was dying, and I don't want to give it away, but it's about the breakup.
Yeah.
And I'm like that's like a classic. That it was almost like that's ready to be told at like dinner tables. Like I was like, it's such a. It
Thank you.
It's so funny. So I want everyone to go watch, enjoy, go get involved with the special. It's called Half of We. Yeah, I mean. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. How is dating? Are you dating actively? How has it been?
I'm talking to the right person.
Yeah, you got the guy.
My goal is I'm not against apps, but for my own character development as a person, I want to approach people in person.
Here's the thing I've always said about this profession, what we do. We're out. We are social. We are doing the things that apps are supposed to help people with.
Yes.
So it's like carrying around a crutch that you don't need. Like I'm on apps. I'm saying that while being on one, it isn't necessary for our life because an app is supposed to get you out there. We are out there. We're out there every night. We are Friday and Saturday, we are being social. Most people, as they get older, they're like, I'll do one night a weekend. We're out 4 or 5 nights a week. So, and again, you're at work and it's different, but
sure,
you are actively like playing in traffic, like, where are you living now? You live in New York.
I'm in Queens. Yeah. I'm right by LaGuardia.
Queens. I mean, so how has it been going up to people in person? Has it worked out?
Well, here's one I did because I'm so new to it because I haven't been single in a while, and so I was to this woman, beautiful woman in this coffee shop, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Because they say, I think it's like in the first 10 seconds, you got to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. You're just going to keep.
But also doing it in this day and age, hot in itself. Like you're already like, you're winning, So, okay.
Well, listen to how hot this is.
Yeah.
This woman comes in and red leather jacket. So I'm like, all right, I got my in. And she sits down. She's got a book, and I'm like, all right. I'm anti-approaching when you're reading.
Right. That's a don't talk to me signal. I brought the thing I want to do, and there's people listening like, I go to bars with books. I go there to be out and I go to there to meet people. It's like, well, you're kind of, you're sending the wrong message,
Yeah. She takes a break from the book. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And I'm in line for a coffee. And I look at her and I go, hey, great jacket. And she goes, oh, thank you. And then I froze and turned around and went back in line.
You're just a fan of the jacket. You're just a fashionista wanting to recognize a beautiful coat that you saw.
Brutal. Just brutal.
It's brutal. I call that the comment. She does have to give you an opening at a certain point, but I think nice jacket. Where'd you get it is kind of bad because it's like it's a woman's jacket. You don't want the jacket.
Nope.
You do need them to kind of like go, well, I like your jacket's great too. Oh, I got this, and there's a story behind it. Yeah. Or if she said, well, my friend said red's my color, and I never thought about it. If that would have been more of an opening.
100%.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm willing to. The good thing about it is I'm fine failing because I like telling fellow comics about this brutal interaction. Listen to how dumb I am. But I've done fine, like with talking to people. I'm just trying to get better at it. I just want to.
I would tell you right now, everything you did was correct. I think that's a nice jacket. When it goes well, it feels different than like she didn't think that went badly. She went, thank you.
Right.
and thank you, meaning I have a boyfriend. I'm not even thinking of this in a keep this conversation going. You served her the volleyball and she slammed it to the ground. She said, I'm not playing. I got a book here.
Yeah.
There will be someone eventually, and that's the problem with dating apps, is that they've gotten us used to this like very quick dopamine hit. And when you go out in public and you talk to 100 people, it's not going to be, you wouldn't talk to 100 people. You talk to one person. On a dating app, you talk to 100.
Yeah. No interest in that.
So keep going. That's my advice, which is the worst advice. It doesn't help.
It's correct.
Right.
I mean, I want to do it. I want it to be someone that lives in New York. That's the issue. Is like I can't on the weekends. I'm somewhere else.
Right.
So
but
I got to find them at a show in the city.
Right. Well, the DMs are open for Steven Rogers. It's it'll be everyone listening. Great guy, hilarious comic. Everyone go watch the special. Half of here's what we're gonna ask. Watch it, comment. If you're this deep into this interview, we want you to. You obviously have some interest. Go comment and like and do all those things that we count as currency and matter very little to you and make the world to us. So thank you, Steven. Fantastic.
Thank you, Jared.
So
Thanks for
good
having
to talk
me.
to you. Of
so
course.
Good to talk to you.
Chit Chat Wednesday. Back next week. Boom.